Hi guys, welcome to Twin Perspective. I'm Joe.
I'm James.
And tonight we're going to be presenting our final 25 top movies of the 90s, 25 through 1, part 2 of the top 50. Right?
Right.
So, I've got 9 movies on this list that you don't even have on your list. That's crazy. And I'm sure you've got a bunch that I don't have.
Probably starting with the first one.
Do you want to go first, or do I go first again?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Number 25. My name's Forrest. Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. A lot of people would say that's the best movie of the decade.
Yeah.
Of the 90s.
It's one of those that flirted with not even being on the list and ending up at 25. Some of them you got to watch again, remember again, or remember that you liked them.
It's on the list.
It's still to come.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
it's high up there.
We got Bubba Gump shrimp here.
I actually get accused of sounding like Bubba all the time because when I come home from work, I talk about the problems of work, and it's always this kind of food and that kind of food. My wife teases me. Would you say, Bubba?
Everybody's seen that movie. Number 25.
Number 25.
I guess some you'll recognize till we get to the very top.
Well, Forrest almost broke the top 10 on my list here. So
whoa.
I gave it a lot of credit for as good as it is.
It's where my favorites took over.
Yeah. I lean towards the movie being a really good one, too. Says the guy that put Hudson Hawk in his list. All right. My number 25 won the Academy Award for Best Picture of the year it came out, 1991. My favorite year of movies. The Best Picture winner was The Silence of the Lambs.
Whoa.
Is that on your list?
Yeah, that's higher up.
Okay, so everybody's seen that, right? Silence of the Lambs. The second part, Manhunter, was the first part. Silence of the Lambs, and then Hannibal, and then that Red Dragon shit. All right,
Which was Manhunter.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about Silence of the Lambs. We all know how good it is, and I gave it, some accolades here. It's in the top 25 of the best movies ever of the 90s.
I just worked with Ted Levine.
But I can pick 5 movies I liked better in 1991 than Silence of the Lambs. So I always had a little bit of a with that movie.
I like it a lot more than he does. I'll mention it later.
All right, what's your number 24?
My number 24, Over a Dog. As Good as It Gets.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Jack. James L. Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
She made my list twice in the 90s. One of Jack's greatest performances. How do you know women so well? I think of a man. Then I take away reason and accountability.
Good Lord.
It had me at hello. The little gay couple. It was a very dramatic movie, but very quirky.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I do that. I when I walk, I don't step on the cracks. I used to think it would break my mama's back.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know whose back it would break, but I do it anyway. Probably need medication or a girlfriend. That's my number 24.
Or Kathy Bates to crawl. Was that no? That was about Schmidt. When she got in the hot tub with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting that confused with about Schmidt. You were a bigger fan of As Good as It Gets than I was, and I saw it at the movies. So.
Something about it. The mental aspect of the character. And Over a Dog. I'm currently going over this. I'm missing a dog very badly right now. And I find myself crying over baked bean commercials.
Okay, that was your number 24?
Yes.
Okay. My number 24 is Toy Story 2. Now, I think all the Toy Stories came out in the 90s, right?
Yep, none of them made my list.
I don't know if 3 came out in the 90s or not. 3 might have snuck into the next decade, but I like 2 the best out of all of them. And then I like 3 a little better than the original. So they're pretty good. And the 4th one's coming out soon. Can't wait. But I don't have nothing to say about Toy Story 2. It was fun. And, one of the better animated movies of the 90s. As far as what I liked. My favorites. There's a ton of good ones. But so there you go. 24. Toy Story 2. Aha. What's your 23?
My 23 is Jerry Maguire.
Not on my list.
Directed by Cameron Crowe, starring Tom Cruise. Another unlikable character that you suffer with throughout the movie that Tom Cruise loves to play. If there's some reason we root for him. Cuba Gooding Jr. won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Renee Zellweger is You Had Me at Hello. And Who's With Me? Who's With Me?
That's true.
They mocked that in Half Baked. And Show Me the Money. And Help Me Help You. There's a lot of good memes from that movie. And it's a good movie if you watch it. And they did buy the rights for the NFL in this movie. So we actually have NFL teams like the Arizona Cardinals.
Right. So Cameron Crowe. And that was, he's a really good director. I like him. And that was one of his better acclaimed films, probably.
Yeah.
A lot of his stuff was kind of like teenage kind of romp. But there's always smart screenplays to all of them. I just never cared for all of them.
Did he do Election? No, that's Alexander Payne.
Yeah. So, I've got a Cameron Crowe coming up. Do I? Nope, I don't. Damn, no Cameron Crowe?
Uh-oh.
I'm shitting on Cameron Crowe. Okay, so that was your number 23?
Yep.
Number 23 for me is another sequel. Grumpier Old Men.
So close.
Didn't make your list.
So close. The first one's great too.
Yeah, Grumpy Old Men's good. Grumpier Old Men's better. And Burgess Meredith. He's awesome. He kills it. And of course, Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. Doesn't get any better than that. They're still doing it. The show was funny. You had the Daryl Hannah character, and then the one that she was hooked up with. And this one, they were getting married, and then I guess they postponed the wedding. Spoiler alert. But the plot doesn't matter. It's the screenplay and the characters talking to each other. Love it.
You want to see my cannelloni? The old men bitching.
What's your number 22?
Sling Blade. We talked about it in the last video. Sling Blade.
I like the way you talk.
I like the way you talk. We talked about it in the last video. Billy Bob Thornton. Daniel Lanois soundtrack.
Yeah. Incredible soundtrack.
I work with Lucas Black all the time. Not so much this season. This might be last season too.
CSI, is it?
NCIS.
NCIS New Orleans.
Nowlands.
Okay.
I like the way you talk.
Well, that's how that kid talks.
Well, he talks with his mouth like this a lot. Alabama.
To me, a guy that grew up in South Louisiana, it just seems like he's faking it. A lot of people think he's faking it. No, that's just the way that kid from Alabama talks.
First movie I ever did was Crazy in Alabama. That's 2000s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he talked like this.
And he was like about Sling Blade age, a little, just a year or two older. His name was P-Joe, and he had a patch on his eye.
That was a great movie.
Sling Blade, number 22.
My number 22 is French Kiss, and that's not on your list.
Mon Dieu.
I'm a fan of Lawrence Kasdan. I love every screenplay he writes that he's involved in, and I really enjoy most of the movies he directs. He didn't direct this. It's a great story, great screenplay. Kevin Kline, he pulls off the French accent beautifully. And Meg Ryan, of course, is the darling in just about any romantic comedy, right?
She does not pull off the French accent.
Fester, fester, fester. Rot, rot, rot. Oh, poor you. You had to grow up here. I hate you people. You people make my ass twitch. That was Meg Ryan making fun of his ass. Oh, shit. And, of course, the great Jean Reno.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? French roast?
Mockring. So, yeah, it's a great movie. I love it. Funny, and yeah, Kevin Kline. Another great performance by him. All right, that was my 22. French Kiss.
It is not on me list.
It's a good one.
Number 21, I've got South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Not me.
That was on your other list.
That's right. Pretty close out there.
They wanted to call it South Park, Satan Goes to Hell. And they said, no, that's too harsh. So they decided to talk about their uncircumcised penises instead and called it Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. And got away with it. It's South Park. You all know South Park.
Mm-hmm.
I spit on you.
It's a musical. And apart from that, it's pretty phenomenal and funny. Especially if you watch South Park, from the time it started. Now, I got into South Park pretty late. I didn't get into, second season, third season, but to watch South Park on TV and then to see the movie and to see them curse, that was worth the price of admission. That was your 21?
Yep.
My 21 is a great B movie called Tremors. My 21.
21?
Tremors is on your list,
Yeah.
All right.
It's a little higher up than 21.
Well,
we're talking about the greatest movies of the 90s.
Tremors is a great movie. Tremors, it does everything it's supposed to do. It serves its purpose. You go back and watch it, there's so many technical errors and goofiness about a lot of it, but it doesn't matter. It's a fun ride.
It's so much better than those 50s movies, radioactive movies, too.
Mm-hmm. I got to give it up to Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon. They made a great duo, great buddy movie.
One of my all-time favorite buddy collaborations there.
Definitely. And so many different things that identified their relationship that carried over through different points of the show. That whether who was going to cook breakfast first or not, who had the lighter, who had the cigarettes.
Doing the Rochambeau.
Right. That shit was just classic. Kevin Bacon finally wins. And then fucking, what's her name, country singer shows up and gives Fred Ward the fucking rifle. Oh, shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see, she had good chemistry with Michael Gross. If Reba McEntire would have kept coming back, we probably would have seen more of that going on with their characters.
Mm-hmm. That movie was great. It was a character study. And a lot of people don't like it because they don't like Kevin Bacon. That's the kind of people that don't like it.
Yeah, there's two type of people in these worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You like them or you don't.
Yeah.
I guess.
He's, whatever. I don't have to like every movie he's in, but he doesn't do anything wrong.
Stampede! Stampede, Earl!
I love Kevin Bacon. And Fred Ward's the shit.
All right. Yeah, pardon my French. It's a monster worm movie in the desert. For those of you who don't know, Tremors.
Yeah.
Great sound. Great Great screenplay.
Yep. That was my 21. What's your number 20?
My number 20. Speaking of favorites, and we're top 20 90s movies. I'm going with Basketball. What do you get when you mix the creators of Airplane and the creators of South Park? It's the only movie we get to see Trey and Matt in besides Orgasmo and the Cannibal the Musical. And but the best movie you could see them in.
Mm-hmm.
And written really well, really funny.
Yep.
Cool sport.
Yeah.
Cool sport.
Yeah.
And getting to do psych outs.
It's one of the better sporting movies out there.
And Al Michaels
And Bob Costas.
were the announcers.
You're excited? Feel these nipples.
No, Daddy, don't touch me like that. Can you believe Al Michaels? Go back and watch yourself. Shame on you. You were in a movie where they wanted to really fuck the doctor's daughter. And we're licking her dildo, but it was the mom's. It's harsh. It's fart and poop.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a great movie. It was in my top 60. Just missed my top 50.
If you want to find Coop, I suggest you look into a place where the most vile place for children.
Scenario number 2. Coop went to Disneyland. Scenario number 1. Coop is hanging from his neck in his fucking closet.
I don't know. For all I know, he could be hanging by his neck in his fucking closet. Scenario number 2. Coop is hanging by his neck in his fucking closet.
And they recorded over his Reggie Jackson home run record with a fucking show called Roadkill caught on tape. Oh, shit.
According to Ida Nelson, a woman who wishes to be named anonymous.
The nosy bitch down the street.
According to this nosy bitch down the street.
Who wishes to remain anonymous. Okay, we can do that all day.
Oh, yeah, basketball.
My number 20.
Watch it and learn the game and play it in your yard.
It's fun. It's better than horse.
It's better than... No, it's not horse. Duh.
Cock beer.
All day.
My number 20 is a David Cronenberg movie called Naked Lunch.
Ooh, Grumpy just talked about that.
Mm-hmm. He's doing a thing on Cronenberg. Well, that's my favorite Cronenberg movie. And he's right. As soon as you see the poster and like the head's replaced by a typewriter and the caption says, "Exterminate all rational thought." And I'm fucking 20, 21 years old in my prime doing shit I shouldn't be doing. And that movie was a trip. And to me, it didn't matter which direction you wanted to go with, like which belief, whether he was crazy, whether he was hallucinating, whether all this was actually happening, whatever existential version you want to go with. It's worth the ride and it's fun. And the acting's really good. The characters are crazy. It's not slow if you enjoy the writing. And I did know a little bit about William S. Burroughs when I saw the movie, and I immediately knew this is not the novel. This is, in my opinion, it was Cronenberg telling a story of William S. Burroughs, but Burroughs being so messed up on drugs that in this presentation was how it was. He was in his mind thinking he's living all these things doing secret spy shit, when in actuality he's just on vacation meeting people and shit. So that's the impression I got. That was kind of what Cronenberg was trying to say. This was this guy's real life, just the way he visioned it, which was through drugs. Lots of drugs.
Yeah. In order for me to get it, I really enjoyed it on drugs. And without it, it's boring.
Yeah, because he's completely disconnected from life. All these fantastic things happen, and he's just got this look like, right. Because, if you know the story, then you know that he's got this overwhelming guilt for killing his wife. So,
which he does in the movie.
And when you hallucinate, You can have a bad trip if you're depressed all the time. That shit was fun though. Naked Lunch, my number 20.
It's pretty trippy. I guess you could watch it without the use of drugs.
And Howard Shore's score was.
Wow.
All right, number 19.
My number 19, I know is not on your list.
My number 19, I know is not on your list.
The Big Lebowski.
That's right.
The Big Lebowski.
The dude.
I just worked with Flea. The dude. John Turturro as Jesus. Fuck with the Jesus. The Big Lebowski is about a little Lebowski, and he gets mistaken for a Big Lebowski. And he ends up getting his rug stolen, and he wants his rug back. He's just a dude, man, just trying to make it through the day. Bowls with John Goodman and Steve Buscemi, his bowling partners. And for years, if we bowled a game in the last frame, we left one pin standing, we had to bowl another game. Because you couldn't leave the bowling alley with one pin standing, or you would die of a heart attack like Steve Buscemi did shortly after. He left that one pin standing. And my other friend would go, Folgers! Because his urn was a Folgers can. The Big Lebowski. Joe's not very versed with it. It's not one of his favorite Coen Brothers movies.
The Coen Brothers are great. Even when it's not one of my favorites by them, it's still better than most movies. I love it. I've only watched it a few times. I don't want to watch it over and over again. I think I have this feeling about Jeff Bridges being recognized for that role. Primarily, throughout his entire career, everything he's ever done, he's the dude. That's the way it is. And it kind of rubs me the wrong way because I look at him as Jack from The Fisher King, okay? So there's a little jealousy there. I'm going to admit to that. And I love the Coen Brothers. As a matter of fact, they're my second favorite directors after David Lynch. So don't get me wrong, The Big Lebowski is great. It's just not on my list. And there is a couple of Coen Brothers movies coming up.
It's a little over the top.
Yeah.
Can't really tell you much about it because that was it.
It's awesome. I mean, I like Raising Arizona more than The Big Lebowski, so that's the kind of guy I am. I can still get into that kind of a crazy comical movie, but oops.
That's it, The Big Lebowski.
Okay, that was your number 18.
19.
19. My number 19 you don't have on your list, and it's Notting Hill. Notting Hill is one of my favorite romantic comedies. It's just the way it is.
Oh, French Kiss.
French Kiss is one, and Notting Hill's one too. It's Hugh Grant. I like him. He's fun to watch in this. I like the circumstance of having a extremely successful person come into your life actually like you, but you have no support system around you to think that this is for real. And let's be honest, you watch this movie over and over again and you take different perspectives from the different couples, and that's what the great ones do. Like When Harry Met Sally, if you watch it over and over again, you start to sympathize with the other ones, and Notting Hill does that. I sympathized with Hugh Grant for the first 20 times I watched it. And Julia Roberts was a bitch, and she fucking did those things, and damn it. But after a while, I start to sympathize with her, and it's like, oh shit. Yeah, just gotta go on different. Oh man, that movie's great. Notting Hill, watch it. You'll love it. If you like romantic comedies, it's one of the best. That's my number 19. What's your number 18?
The French Kiss on Notting Hill.
Notting Hill's a different beast, because that's weird when you're dating a successful woman. Okay.
My number 18 is Dogma.
No way. My number 18 is Dogma.
Damn.
It's the third time that's happened on this list.
That's Dogma.
Mm-hmm. Straight.
Directed by Kevin Smith. Why don't you explain it, brother?
Oh, I love Dogma. To me, Dogma is Kevin Smith's opus. His epic. Okay, Kevin Smith has done a lot of great things. You go cult with Clerks and everything he's done in his career. He's done some poppy shit too. I didn't like that Chasing Amy crap, right? But anyway, and Jersey Girl has its moments. If you like Ben Affleck. But this movie, Dogma, has Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, and they're the stars of the movie, and they deliver, and it's great. And you got George Carlin playing
They're fallen
Cardinal.
angels, by the way.
which is fucking perfect casting. Selma Hayek is the Muse, and oh my God, can you get any finer than that?
Chris Rock.
Chris Rock is
The
the
13th
13th apostle. You knew Jesus. Knew him. Damn it, nigga owes me $5. And of course, last but not least, Linda Fiorentine. What's her name? Fiorentine?
Yeah.
Tina, something like that. Right? She's the lead actress. And whatever. But we got the great Alan Rickman
as the Metatron.
The Metatron.
The voice of God.
And that's just like Alan, and he plays a significant part, and it's when he shows up, it's important, and it's just awesome. That movie is made so well.
And Jay and Silent Bob as the prophets.
And yeah, the last but not least, this is a Jay and Silent Bob movie because they come to the fucking rescue. They don't do much, but they try, man, and they come. Such a great movie. That's the best Kevin Smith movie in my opinion. That's number one.
It's really deep. It's really funny. If you're heavy on either side of that argument, the religious argument, you'll find a side to be on.
It's retribution for those angels. They were killing a bunch of sinners. You spit and you'll hit one.
It might feel like you're dealing with a bunch of people who don't believe in God, but the whole movie is because God exists. So
that's right. And
you just got to smile and go with it.
And they picked the perfect person to play God. Right?
It's ironic, don't you think?
Don't you think?
A little too ironic.
And yeah, I really do think. Alanis Morissette.
Is Dogma on your list? 18.
18.
You said.
Yep,
So now it's time for 17.
17. Dogma. Kevin Smith.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot just finished filming last week here. I didn't get to work on it. Number 17. From Dusk Till Dawn.
What?
Okay. Directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
From a story written by Robert Kurtzman.
Of The Walking Dead fame?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
KNB fame.
And K&B does the effects.
Mexican cowboys. Mexican vampires.
That's right.
Why did I say cowboys? Because they're dressed like cowboys.
And George Clooney being the action hero that no one ever thought he would be coming out of the facts of life.
Screenplay by Quentin Tarantino, who plays George Clooney's brother, the Gecko Brothers.
An amazing movie. The first half of it is this crazy crime drama where they're kidnapping people, and it's this twisted, sick brother and the macabre of it all. But you kind of hope they get away with it, and you hope the family doesn't get hurt. And then they got to stay overnight at a bar.
For some reason.
And wait it out till morning for the third or fourth character Cheech Marin plays to show up. Oh, man.
And it's a bar filled with vampires. And it's a fight for survival the last half of the movie with blood and guts and one of my favorite vampire movies.
And Tom Savini
Sex
up
machine.
a good fight. Was it Hollywood Henderson? It was the other guy that he lasted pretty long too.
Fred Williamson.
Yeah, that's right. And of course Harvey Keitel of Pulp Fiction fame.
Juliette Lewis.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a little higher up on my list.
Dang. It's a good one.
I'm sure everyone's seen From Dusk Till Dawn. At number 17 for me is a David Lynch film, The Straight Story.
That old man that drives the tractor through the whole movie.
It's
Disney
not,
film.
It's not on your list, huh?
Mm-mm.
Well, I prefer the slower movies sometimes.
Old man on a tractor.
It's an old man on a tractor, and it takes him days to get to where he needs to get to see his brother.
His name's Straight. It's his story.
And it's based on a true story, and it's a David Lynch movie, and it's a Disney movie. But no one could have directed that movie better than Lynch. No one could have made a better soundtrack than Angelo Badalamenti. It's a signature work by him, different than other things he's ever done. And the performances are great. There's a lot of close-ups. The characters are pretty off the screen, even though there's not a long time spent with most of them. Ever McGill's got a scene of Twin Peaks fame. And I love The Straight Story. I think it's awesome. I think it's one of Lynch's best. So
Harry Dean Stanton of Twin Peaks fame.
that's right. Harry Dean Stanton played the brother. But I'm not going to tell you whether he makes it or not because it's scary. He's on a tractor in the middle of the road.
He's not driving in a straight line.
He can barely get on and off the damn thing. Yeah, he's really old and bad eyes, doesn't have his driver's license.
Richard Farnsworth.
And he was nominated for an Academy Award for that role.
Earned him an Academy Award.
What's your number 16?
My number 16 is True Lies. Mentioned that one in the last video. James Cameron took Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. When Arnold finished watching the movie, he said, her name's got to go above the title with mine. The only movie Schwarzenegger since he began, that was the stipulation. It's his name only and then the title of the movie.
That's right.
And he said, nope, we got to put Curtis up there too.
Because she kicked ass and she deserved it.
It was it's more James Cameron's more well-rounded movies.
Mm-hmm.
And fleshed out. Well, that's not fantastical. It's his James Bond.
It's so well paced, and there's different scenes, and it's focused on something different. Whether it's the family dynamic, or whether it's an action scene, or whether it's part of the actual crime going on, or whether it's part of this, spy scenario that they've been setting up, which gets back to the family dynamic. That's the best part of the movie.
Oh yeah, she's got her head in his lap, all right.
Oh fuck, Bill Pullman, just starring in James Cameron movies his whole career. It sucks. He was great in that. He pissed on himself.
As like a 13-year-old boy. That's when he punches him. Booyah!
Oh shit.
Pretty funny, pretty action-packed, and a great movie. Tom Arnold.
And the scene with Jamie Lee Curtis trying to seduce Arnold with the dance was a throwback to a lot of her earlier stuff in her career when she was just this, physically beautiful woman, and that was great. That was like some flash dance shit going on there. Jamie can dance. She's not just a scream queen. She can play a hooker.
Christopher Guest is a lucky bastard.
Yeah, I love the going back and forth in True Lies. It's definitely fun to watch. I just don't like the last scene, that's all. I love the bridge scene, but not the...
Alright, that was my 16.
My number 16, I don't think it's on your list. It's a Steven Spielberg movie. Amistad.
Not on my list.
Damn. Amistad's one of my favorite Spielberg movies. I can say that. He's had a lot of really good ones. Early in his career, he was the best, and then, you take it or leave it after that. In the last couple of decades, he's tried to make some big hits that I didn't really care for. But I thought he got it right with Catch Me If You Can, and I thought he got it right with Amistad, which is my favorite Anthony Hopkins performance. And he plays John Quincy Adams, and he has about 3 or 4 scenes in the whole movie, but he makes the most of it. And it's the court scene at the end of the movie that, he steals the show. No one else could have done it the way he did it.
Amistad, the Commissar.
And Morgan Freeman is great in it. And you got those two. And then Matthew McConaughey. You'd think he'd have a hard time keeping up, but he didn't. He was shining every time he was on the screen. So
before the reconnaissance.
That's right. Yeah, he proved to me in that movie he was a pretty good actor. And David Paymer. And so anyway, great movie. Love it. Based on a true story. I think it's iconic. So there you go. Amistad.
About slavery and stuff.
That's number 16. What's your number 15?
Top 15 movies of all time. Now we're getting to the nitty gritty.
In the 90s.
In the 90s. And favorites. Mm-hmm. This one, I know, is not on your list.
Really?
And I think it's on everyone's list. Number 15 is Titanic. James Cameron strikes again.
It's a brilliant movie.
Based on a true story, all of it except for the relationships.
And the fact that we really don't know what the fuck happened out there.
UFOs. I got my own Titanic story. You say you can't redo the Titanic? I bet you I can. I'm going to put everybody on a ghost boat. With aliens.
It's Cameron, you got to put a gun in it.
Titanic, you all know the story.
Yeah, so Titanic, brilliant.
Ship
Didn't make
sunk.
my list. That's one of the movies that's so well made, I was going to put it on the list to honor it. And then I thought, well, if I put it in the honorable mentions, I could honor it.
But he couldn't because I had it in my list.
That's right, 15, number 15.
All time.
Of the 90s.
Not very fun movie.
No.
Put a gun in it. What do you do if you're Cameroon? Put a gun in it. Titanic. Put a gun in it.
So, Enya had an album named Shepherd's Moon. And there's a track toward the end of the album. And when you listen to it, you hear the melody of the Titanic. And when you see the release date of Enya's album, which I loved, you see that it came out years before Titanic. And I thought, this is some horse shit. That this woman had this exact melody with the exact Celtic kind of sensitivity to it that was played in the movie, Irish or whatever. And then Titanic does it 2 years later, and Celine Dion becomes like the greatest seller of all time, and just rubbed me the wrong way. So I gotta say that.
Yeah, and you could have had a gig in Las Vegas.
That's right. Oh man, Enya song's much better. My heart will go on. My number 15 is David Lynch's Lost Highway.
No, that was my number 40.
So, I love Lost Highway. I loved it from the first time I watched it. I was pissed because it wasn't Twin Peaks, so he was going to have to impress me or I was going to be pissed, and I was impressed. And doing the whole soundtrack thing was great. And I talk about Lost Highway in my video on this channel about ranking the films of David Lynch, so look that up. And I won't say much else about it except that, you can take it any way you want. The girl I was with at the time when the movie came out for years, she didn't really quite get it. And then one day, she decided to make the mystery man the devil in her head. And after that, the whole thing fell into place. And she was like, oh, it all makes complete sense now. I was like, okay, good. She found a way to make it all make sense. But before I ever saw Lost Highway, I saw an article in Psychology Today. David Lynch was on the cover. And I thought, well, this is kind of fucked up. They're going to talk about a movie director in Psychology Today, and it was about Lost Highway, and they broke down a lot of the different themes. And they spoiled a few of the scenes, but I didn't mind, because I was going to watch the damn thing anyway. It played in one theater in New Orleans for 2 weeks, and then it was gone. So we didn't have a chance to see it till it was released on VHS. So anyway, Lost Highway, number 15. Great movie. David Lynch, you rock. What's your number 14?
Independence Day.
Oh!
Roland Emmerich's 4th of July classic. America, America. A rewatchability factor out of this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Star maker in Will Smith. He was a star before that. Shut up.
And put Harry Connick Jr. on the map. Nobody knows who he is still.
Still no. He's got a TV show. It's local.
That's the part of the movie that was the most emotional. Just remember
It was
that.
Goose, man. It was Goose. Goose revisited. Randy Quaid.
Up yours.
And Jeff Goldblum and Judd Hirsch.
Oh, man. Bill Pullman. That's America sticking the dick in the alien's ass and breaking that fucker off.
What, you don't think it costs $400 for a hammer? Well, yeah, the Area 51. Area 51.
They knew that. That's...
You knew then, and you did nothing. Yeah. Rewatchability factor out the ass.
Plausible deniability. I've seen that damn movie 200 million times, like I said in the last video, because my wife loves it.
But if you haven't seen it, just put it on TNT for a day.
It'll come on. So your number 14 was my number 31.
Above Titanic.
But it's there. Independence Day. My number 14 was on your list last video. My favorite Luc Besson movie, The Fifth Element.
True.
I love that movie. I went to the movies to see it. I was blown away. I thought that this particular science fiction movie was the closest to Star Wars that any of the other ones after Star Wars had ever really gotten. It really was to me. Like, this guy, he wasn't trying to rip off Star Wars. He told his own little science fiction movie, and it happened to work. And we went to different locations, and it was great. But you didn't have to have this huge world to build on. You know, the mystique of The Fifth Element and everything else. And so anyway, great movie. Loved it. I saw it at the theater, and then I brought my brother to see it. I told him he had to see it because I liked it that much. So much that it's my number 14 movie of the
I like
90s.
seeing Mila on the big screen.
They really do make her perfect, don't they? And Bruce Willis is the shit.
That's right.
Number 13?
My number 13 is Paul Verhoeven's Starship Troopers. That's not on your list.
It's not on my list, but damn, that's a great movie.
Damn.
It's in my top 80 of the 90s.
This is Babylon 5 meets 902.0.
Movie was great.
Military, space fighting, alien, insect monsters. Bunch of dumb kids, bad actors, really bad actors. And they just all made it work because they were all over the top. And like Michael Ironside would come in and go, I'll get over the top too.
No, yeah, he got, yeah. But you know what else made it over the top? The directors. He was, it seemed like he was sensible about it. Like, to show the recruitment videos, or do you want to learn more? That stuff told you right then and there they're not taking themselves seriously. So we're not going to care that these actors are over the top. And the action was so well done. It really was.
It was a new elevation of CGI and that I hadn't seen, and it was on at Blockbuster. I found it.
Right. So
And I proceeded to take it and show everyone. It was like It just was that under the radar.
Movies still don't do that. Blend the real prosthetics with the CGI. They don't do it well.
No.
When you shoot somebody, I want to see blood splatter. I want to see the real blood there later. I don't want to see computer graphics, everything. Jesus. But there was a lot of practical effects in that.
Yeah.
Riding on the big things. And
Paul Verhoeven gets really splatterific.
And the girls are fine.
And it gets better and better every time you watch it. And you got to go gung ho with it though. It's balls to the wall. And it was the first time we had seen Doogie Howser in a while.
The other ones try to be as good. There's so many sequels, but the first one's the classic.
Yeah, it catches magic, despite Denise Richards. She's pretty to look at. Shh, don't speak. Don't speak. They're remaking Starship Troopers because it's based on a novel and they did not follow the novel in the movie. So I'm glad whatever he decided, the way he decided to go. Maybe the kid, graduating from high school and going into the military. But so we'll see what the novel was like with the remake coming up.
All right.
I love Starship Troopers.
My number 13 is on your list. I don't know how close it is, but my number 13 is a Stephen King novel called The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, that's higher up on mine.
Damn. Directed by
Frank Darabont.
Who also did The Green Mile, which was Stephen King.
And created The Walking Dead.
That's right. Frank Darabont. And he did the screenplay for A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. So, kudos to Darabont. I forgot what movie I was talking about.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. That's great. That's one of them things. Stephen King can do horror. He can also do great drama. Really good drama. And it was well done. I love the characters. That's what makes it. We'll talk about it more later. Shawshank.
Frank Darabont can take a character, an redhead Irishman named Red, and cast Morgan Freeman because he sees how the dynamic might work better.
It worked pretty good.
His name was still Red.
So what's your number 12 as we cruise on towards our top 10?
My number 12, you mentioned it in the last video, blasphemy how it couldn't have been this high. Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
Charlie Sheen, who showed up so buff. He went above and beyond. Commitment. He's going to be a comedic actor. This solidified it. This was before 2.5 Men. He probably didn't have HIV at this point.
Oh, he was awesome.
It's
great.
Loosely but making fun of Rambo First Blood Part 2. So you should watch that movie, and then you'll get some of the inside jokes. Because he picks up, he shoots a bomb-tipped arrow, and in this one they pick up a chicken and bow and arrow shoot it. And I'm just babbling. Hot Shots Part 2.
You also have Miguel Ferrer of Twin Peaks fame. I think he's
I smell a rat.
I think he's the rat. But he just lost his will to kill.
You've given me a reason to kill you.
Charlie Sheen had to give him a pep talk.
What are you reading? Great Expectations. What do you think? It's not what I expected.
What are they going to say? The same two characters. Warm, fuzzy, worn out, whatever.
But it's a sequel. I had to come. Some of my favorite parts in the movie comes to mind all the time. They just took a shortcut, but they're in the woods in Nicaragua or something, and they take a shortcut through the neighbor's yard with a swimming pool, and they're barbecuing in the backyard. And it's real quick, And the woman's like, John, you're drunk again. And he's like, oh, yeah, whose fault is that? And that's it. And they just keep going on. And it's like, man, that was so funny what was going on back there. Whose fault is that? And he's trying to get the keys with the mop stick, and he keeps sticking it in the fan. And the guard's sleeping right there. So they're trying to be quiet. And she finally just slaps him and says, enough.
Right.
Like, quit dicking around and get the fucking keys.
He's trying really hard, but he keeps hitting the fan.
It's so meta.
And she slaps him and says, and he looks at her like, what? Enough. Like she's convinced he's doing it on purpose.
You're just doing this to make us laugh. Like a Family Guy, just beating that dead horse for 30 seconds.
That's every relationship I've ever been in. I'm going to get her mad at me for some shit that I wasn't trying to do. I was trying to get the keys.
I see you're no stranger to pain. I've been married. Twice. Oy vey. Oh.
Stop moving.
They tied my shoelaces. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's goofy, though. It is goofy.
Yeah. They had to lighten the load of the plane. Helicopters shoved a grand piano out of it. That'll lighten the load. They had a grand piano on the helicopter.
Saddam.
That's your wife. Hillary Rodham Hussein. Hillary Rodham Hussein.
Tell her I'm not here. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so we go on about Hot Shots Por Dia Forever. It was on my top 50 list. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
My number 12 is a movie that's not on your list. Joel and Ethan Coen's Barton Fink, starring John Turturro and John Goodman and Judy Davis and the old guy from Frasier. I can't think of his name. And that one won the trifecta, Palme d'Or and Best Director and Best Actor. And Wild at Heart was really close. Nicolas Cage didn't win Best Actor at Palme d'Or that year. I think that's how it went. No, screenplay. I don't think of it. No, it was actor. Anyway, I love Barton Fink. That's one of my favorite Coen movies. It's slow. It's a slow burn, of course. But great performance from Judy Davis. Great performance by John Turturro and John Goodman. Check it out. It's very weird and dark and funny.
He's got writer's block.
And he's stuck in a hotel in Los Angeles, forced to write a script about wrestling. And he decides to write this great script that turns out to be like Rocky or something, and they just wanted a B movie. And they were pissed at him. Anyway, Michael Lerner is in that. He gave an Academy Award nominated performance. I gave him the award that year. No, he was number 2. I gave somebody else the award that year for Best Supporting Actor.
He was in Godzilla. That's in my top 50.
So Barton Fink from 1991, if you've never seen it. What's your number 11?
My number 11, barely missing the top 10. We've already talked about it. Tremors.
Ooh.
Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward and Michael Gross and Reba McEntire.
Some good shit. And also of Twin Peaks fame, Charlotte Stewart.
Charlotte Stewart. Yes, of Twin Peaks fame. How'd you get that Twin Peaks in there?
Mm-hmm.
That is it. We talked about it already. 50s style monster movie with giant worms.
Mm-hmm. Graboids.
Graboids, they name them. Do it. Now, is your 11?
My 11 is Forrest Gump. Run, Forrest, run!
My name is Gump.
So, out of all of the great epics that didn't make this list, I figured Forrest Gump was too good to leave off. Robert Zemeckis, right?
Right.
Never really let us down. I even liked the Ghost one with Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford, but whatever. But anyway, Forrest Gump's good. Can't deny it. It's great. Give Louisiana some love. There should have been a sequel. I think there was another book.
I think he was from Alabama.
But he ends up on the Saints roster, and the Saints were 0-8, and then they end up 8-8 before he has to leave and move on to the next journey of his life. I think he was just a kick returner. He just catch it and run.
Oh.
Run, Forrest, run! Anyway, do a sequel, Robert Zemeckis, before Tom Hanks gets too old. All right, let's get to our top 10 movies of the 90s. Do it! Your number 10. Just do it!
Number 10, James Cameron popping up again, proving why he's the greatest director of all time. Asterisk. Asterisk. Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Oh, that happens to be my number 10, which means we've done this 4 times now.
Wow.
This has never happened before, and it's happened 4 times on this list.
Holy moly.
Terminator 2.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton and Edward Furlong and Robert Patrick.
Now, how are you going to get somebody more badass than Arnold Schwarzenegger? You just don't even try. You just go get some guy and say, okay, you do it. Because you're just going to be this liquid metal shit, which is fucking crazy. And the special effects in this movie, that was the best that had ever been to that point. What they were showing us in this movie was what we're capable of doing now, you know. And that shit worked.
And the advertising. Thinking it's going to be a bad Terminator, and then the weekend it comes out showing the commercial that come with me if you want to live, and realizing Arnold is the good guy. I got to go see this movie now.
Mm-hmm.
He's the good guy. If you wanted to see it before, you definitely wanted to see it then.
Yeah.
Balls. Can't keep that stuff secret anymore. They had the internet back then. He's a good guy. Rumor still has it. He's a good guy.
Yep, he was.
He was a good guy.
Yeah.
People cry.
Until he got melted. Don't. That was our number 10.
There is no fate but what we make. Or the hate. You alleviate, try not to hate, love your mates, don't suffocate.
Yeah. Another NXS song that applies to this movie is Guns in the Sky, damn it. That goddamn Skynet shit, man. That's all the same thing. You gotta militarize everything in AI and come on, how many movies like this have to be made before we realize we don't want to give fucking artificial intelligence control of our drones? What the fuck are you thinking? And now they're talking about doing it with tanks. We're going to let a computer decide when, and what is it going to decide from these movies? Humans are the fucking mistake.
So come on, ladies. Linda Hamilton did it in the movie. You got to do it in real life. Save us.
What's your number 9?
Oh, yeah, my turn. Oh, that's true. My number 9 is Silence of the Lambs. And was the lamb silent?
Doctor Lecter. Doctor Lecter. You want to fuck me? It puts the lotion in the basket.
Memes for days.
Put the fucking lotion in the fucking basket. Yeah, that's great. American Girl. You know, that's cool. You know a movie's good when you can take a classic and redefine it, you know. I think of American Girl as a song in Silence of the Lambs. It kind of cemented that. And of course, the Horses song, Wild Horses or whatever.
Couldn't drag me away.
No, the one where he's dancing.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Oh, Pretty Horses, something weird like that.
That's my number 9. I know it was on your list a little lower.
Yep. 91 was a great year.
These are the top 10.
These are the best movies ever. And my number 9 is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Wow.
Number 9. That shit was great. Be cool. Be cool. A fucking editing genius. Just like, put it in my face. Show me that shit. What the hell? That movie was great. Great job by Robert Rodriguez. And you know, Desperado was another movie Rodriguez directed that was, to me, exceptional movie. But this was the best movie he ever did, for sure. And I don't know George.
Fun
Clooney.
fact: Ezekiel 27. Ezekiel what?
Mm-hmm.
God damn it! Pulp Fiction.
Oh, okay.
Ezekiel 25:17. That was supposed to be the speech that Harvey Keitel
That's right.
says. But because that movie wasn't getting made at the time and Pulp Fiction was, he just kind of pulled it from that and put it in his Pulp Fiction script. And he had to come back and find another verse to say for From Dusk Till Dawn. It could have been there.
That's my number 9.
Baseball bat and shotgun.
I will strike down.
So it's my number 8?
Yeah.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My number 8 is Fargo.
Oh, you betcha.
Most of the movie doesn't take place in North Dakota.
No, it doesn't.
I think everyone knows Fargo. The Coen brothers,
Mm-hmm.
based on a true story, loosely, very loosely,
Mm-hmm.
about a kidnapping gone awry,
Yep.
and a bunch of Northerners and a pregnant cop who figures it out.
Yep.
Slowly but surely. Because she's got to puke.
And John Carroll Lynch is her husband, and William H. Macy in his best performance ever. That movie was just...
Peter Stormare and Steve Buscemi as the hitmen.
Great movie. And Frances McDormand won the Academy Award, and she kicks ass, and she deserved it.
As she did in 3 Billboards.
And, yeah, she kicks ass. This is definitely one of the best Coen Brothers movie. It's in my top 10.
Oh, you betcha.
It's actually at number 6.
Hmm.
Because I think we're going to start jumping on each other here for the few movies. My next movie at number 8 is Jurassic Park.
Damn, number 8. That's my number 4.
Wow. Damn. So that's my highest rated Spielberg of the 90s. Jurassic Park, made with all that, the dinosaurs and stuff. And, you know, that was another movie after Terminator 2 hit a plateau. Jurassic Park was the next plateau when I saw that shit. Dinosaurs, like, holy crap. And then, of course, you know, the real.
3 times in the theater I saw it.
The real prosthetics. You can't just have computer graphic. You got, if the dinosaur is going to eat somebody, I want to see fucking teeth and shit. So, and you can't go wrong with Jeff Goldblum.
Memes for days.
Spared no expense.
Yeah, Jurassic Park should be taught in classes.
Right. Of what not to do as a species.
Although I must admit, when I first saw the movie and the kids ran down the stairs, I was like, oh, fuck. Spielberg and his damn kids again. Why do we have to have kids in his movies? And it pissed me off. It was like an Ewok showing up in Return of the Jedi. I was like, why do we have to do this right now? In the final movie. But you just accept it. You roll with it. It's a great movie no matter what.
Of course, it's got Laura Dern of Twin Peaks fame and Samuel L. Jackson of Pulp Fiction fame.
The little girl that was in Jurassic Park was in Tremors.
That's true.
So she made my list. She made my top 15 twice.
Wow. Don't even know her name. She was,
Ariana Richards.
she was in Tremors 4, right?
She's of age now.
Beautiful girl. So that was my number 8, Jurassic.
That was my number 4. Thawa.
Okay, so what's your number 7?
Number 7 is JFK.
Ooh, that's my number 4.
That's your number 4. We're stepping all over each other now.
Yeah, JFK, Oliver Stone once again makes my list.
He makes my list really high up.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty high for what I thought you would do.
Yeah. It was one of those movies where I had it around 12 and it just kept getting bumped up because there was nothing that could really come up before it.
You know, it's a solid movie. I mean, the screenplay's great. Of course, based on a true story.
It is my number 7. It's his 4.
If you want to believe in the truth, it's based on a true story. Oliver Stone doesn't tell lies. And it's got one of the best casts of all time that's ever been assembled for a movie. And I will go to battle with the schmoes and whoever else. Who's the one that does that, the battle with the questions and they fight? Movie fights.
That's Movie Fights.
Yeah.
Screen Junkies.
Screen Junkies. Okay, Screen Junkies. You guys want to go to battle with the best cast of all time? I'll take either Mars Attacks or JFK and whip your ass, okay? Man, JFK's got everybody in it, and they all give a great performance. That shit's got Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon in it, for fuck's sake. It's Kevin Bacon. It's your 6 Degrees.
That's your 6 Degrees.
Kevin Spacey and Sissy Spacek and
Joe Pesci, Tommy Lee Jones.
I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on.
Donald Sutherland.
John Candy. Son of a bitch. Donald Sutherland's good in that, too. So check out JFK if you have.
Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman's the bomb. Don't be scared of it because it's almost 4 hours long. Take that trip.
I think it's the longest movie on my list. It doesn't get any longer than that after this.
That was your number 7.
Yes.
JFK. My number 7 is Pulp Fiction.
Oh. That's my number 5.
Shit. Pulp Fiction. So, yeah, Tarantino's best movie, in my opinion.
Me too.
Everything he does is going to get compared to that one.
Yeah. That one hit the right. That was the right time. That was the definition of the 90s.
It was.
The decade. You weren't going to make a better movie than that after that movie came out. It was like, that's the one to beat.
It took a lot of older actors that were, I would just say, more popular in another time. And he made them cool again, you know. Rosanna Arquette and Eric Stoltz and, of course, fucking John Travolta.
He was going to do it with Sherman Hemsley, too.
Really? What was Sherman Hemsley going to be?
Mm-hmm.
He could have done it. If you want to revive your career, do a Tarantino movie. Of course, Harvey Keitel again. Okay, great. Awesome. Pulp Fiction. My number 7. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is The Shawshank Redemption. Just talked about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Guy gets falsely accused, goes to jail for 20 years, manages to break out. The end.
They should have done a part 2 where they found him on the island, put him back in jail. That would have sucked.
Oh, man.
What a downer.
We're going to go through this shit again.
Except Red's not there.
Great performance by James Whitmore Sr. and Clancy Brown.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about Shawshank Redemption.
Number
Read
6.
the book.
Number 6.
Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption.
My number 6 is Fargo.
Just talked about it. Wood Chipper.
Yep, Fargo. Which is one of my favorite Coen Brothers movies.
Funnier than most.
So, Barton Fink was at 12, and I got Fargo at number 6. Down to the top 5. What's your number 5? You said already.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh, the Pulp Fiction. My number 5.
R.I.P. Dickie Dale.
I don't think my number 5 is on your list. Rushmore.
It's not on my list.
Son of a bitch. So my number 5 is not even on his list.
It was close. Top 50. Top 60.
I guess you just got to be one of them. Got to be in that place. You got to be one of those Rushmore fans. I'm a Wes Anderson fan, and I think Rushmore is the best movie. I don't know what else to say. It kind of revived Bill Murray's career, for sure.
Turned us on to The Faces.
Yeah, for sure.
Ooh la la.
All of Wes Anderson's soundtracks are great. Yeah, this movie's great. I loved it. I thought it was Ferris Bueller for the 90s. It was just a different kind of Ferris. He was cool as shit. All right, what's your number 4?
Jurassic Park. Dinosaur. It's a dinosaur movie. It's great. Not for the young at heart.
Several people get eaten.
Yeah.
My number 4 is JFK. With John Williams music.
Only the parts in color are 100% fact. The parts in black and white are guesswork. But it's probably 100% fact as well.
JFK is my favorite editing in a movie ever. So there's that. All right, what is your number 3?
Oh, shit. I think our threes are going to be the same. My number 3 is Wild at Heart.
My number 3 is Wild at Heart and Weird on Top. That's 5. That's weird.
That's weird.
Wild at Heart's my favorite screenplay of all time. It's also, I think, Lynch's best effort as far as direction goes in a movie. He held that shit together pretty good and still got artsy with it. Dude, we could talk about Wild at Heart forever.
Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern.
Greatest screenplay ever.
Lovers on the Run. And her mama, played by Laura Dern's real mama, Diana Ladd, sends a hitman and a detective after him. And races on to get to California.
Marcelo Santos.
They don't make it past Big Tuna, Texas.
No, they don't. Marcelo Santos. Not to be confused with Marcellus Wallace. I'm telling you, Quentin Tarantino loves Lynch, whether he wants to admit it or not. He rips him off. True Romance was written after Wild at Heart was released. True Romance came out after, so Wild at Heart's great. Fucking soundtrack's great. Cast is great. Willem Dafoe. Isabella Rossellini. Yeah, everybody's seen it. I can't believe it. That's our 5th movie that we got ranked the same.
It's a rip-roaring, sexy,
Rowdy road
raunchy
movie.
comedy.
Actually,
Not really comedy.
Roger Ebert even liked it, which is weird.
Actually, he gave it a thumbs up. I know Peter Travers had to give it a thumbs up.
That movie's great. Wild at Heart, one of Lynch's best.
My favorite editing in a movie.
Yeah, that shit was awesome. And the sound effects were done by Randy Tom. And not often Lynch will let someone else do sound effects. But there's a reason he let Randy Tom do it, because Randy Tom's one of the best in the business. Star Wars, Star Trek, I mean, he's there. So, talk about sound design. Great effort in Wild at Heart. Okay, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me.
Me.
After
And
two seasons of Twin Peaks, he decided to make a movie, and he made a prequel, The Death of Laura Palmer. We got to watch her final 7 days. After a short interlude of about 30 to 40 minutes of another story altogether.
Yeah, the Teresa Banks case in Deer Meadow.
I was really getting invested, and then we jumped to Cheryl Lee's time. I've watched that movie more than any other movie, like, willingly. I mean, I've seen Jaws all the time, because it's on and I'll turn it on. But I've actually put in Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me more times for people to watch it
Yeah,
than any other movie ever.
yeah, yeah. All of my friends have seen that movie.
And I've never gotten up and left the room.
Because you're not my friend if you don't watch it. That's the way it is. And it's number 1 on my list.
I figured it was.
So,
Your number 2 is my number 1.
yeah, so Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, there's not one aspect of it that's better than anything else that Lynch has done, with the exception of the lead performances. Cheryl Lee and Ray Wise. You're not going to get any better than that. I don't care who else Lynch gets and puts as his leads. What Cheryl Lee did in that movie was phenomenal. Greatest performance ever by an actor or actress ever. That's my opinion. She nailed that shit. And I think if you watch Fire Walk with Me before the series, it makes season 2 way better than what everybody else bitches about, moans and groans about. I was so into season 2 after knowing everything that, knowing who the killer is, it made the whole show that much better to me. I thought they paid attention to those details. So they were highlighting, and instead, they were just fucking shooting from the hip, but it works great. All right, so that's your number 2. That's my number 1. And my number 2 is your number 1, which is The Fisher King.
The Fisher King.
Brilliant. Terry Gilliam.
Monty Python. The American Python.
The animator who would get thrown on some skits every now and then, but a difficult as hell director to work with because he was painstakingly detailed in what he wanted it to look like. And he does have a specific look. Gilliam's the shit. And this is by far his best movie.
A lot of people don't talk about it. Jeff Bridges, Robin Williams. Robin Williams' best performance. Should I see a comedic performance by Robin Williams? Which one's my favorite? The dramatic performance? Fisher King performance. Because it's all of the above.
Yep.
Makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you pee a little. He gets naked in the movie.
And rubs his ass on the ground.
In Central Park.
You know why dogs do this, Jack? Because it feels good.
So if you don't feel like you want to see a movie about the Holy Grail,
it's really not about the Holy Grail.
It's really not. It's a redemption story, and it's my favorite redemption story.
Yes, it is.
More so than the Shawshank Redemption.
And it's 2 different characters going through redemption. Jeff Bridges playing Jack, and Robin Williams playing Parry.
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 No, just Parry.
Parry?
No, just Parry.
Would you like to laminate Miss Sinclair's card?
Oh, yeah, yes. You could say it should be Academy Award nominated performances from all 5.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Jeff Bridges, Robin Williams, Amanda Plummer, Mercedes Ruehl, who did win Best Supporting Actress. Mm-hmm. Sorry, Juliette Lewis and Cape Fear.
Mm-hmm.
And Michael Jeter.
Yep. And that's my second all-time favorite supporting actor performance.
5 performances. If you're into movies, if you're into dissecting performances, that's one you'll have fun with. Because you got 5 characters you can just dissect away.
It would make an amazing Broadway play. Oh my God. Just 5 very strong characters. There's a few other people in there. But I think it's Jeff Bridges' best performance. I love the character of Jack. He's such a fucking asshole.
Jack.
And he fucking really does learn his lesson because he tries. He tries to pay Perry off and be done with it. And that shit doesn't work. Sell, buy, fuck them all.
He's going to make him do that for him, that one thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so sad.
And he has to.
Oh, God. The movie's fucking awesome.
It's a redemption story.
Yes, it is.
We've spoken about it before. But
and this is why we talk about it all the time. You're number 1, my number 2.
Jeff Bridges is a DJ and Robin Williams is a homeless man. And their paths intersect in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to, I don't know, he feels indebted to the guy, needs some recollection there in his life as well.
Yes, he does.
Ergo, the redemption story. Poor girlfriend. And then you watch it from Mercedes Ruehl, from her point of view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, Paul Bed. Man, that bastard's lucky.
Yeah, he's a lucky bastard.
Do you ever come out of, if you're still in a relationship, like, man, I'm lucky to still be in this thing. That's your wake-up call. You better shape up. Because once she had enough of your shit, she ain't going to come back.
Who is Lydia? You're calling Lydia from my phone? She rocks. She rocks in that movie. When Robin Williams starts asking her about her body and shit, he gets on the table. He says he's going to fuck her.
Holding my penis. What a wonderful way of telling me that you like me.
Put your pants on, Jack. Y'all put your pants on, Perry.
Harry.
All right, so that's it. That's our top 50 movies of the 90s.
I'll go through my top 10 one more time.
Your top 10, please.
Terminator 2, Judgment Day, number 10. Number 9, The Silence of the Lambs. 8, Fargo. 7, JFK. 6, The Shawshank Redemption. 5, Pulp Fiction. 4, Jurassic Park. 3, Wild at Heart. 2, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. And 1, The Fisher King.
Ow!
Your top 10.
In my top 10, number 10, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Number 9, From Dusk Till Dawn. Number 8, Jurassic Park. Number 7, Pulp Fiction. Number 6, Fargo. Number 5, Rushmore. Number 4, JFK. Number 3, Wild at Heart. Number 2, The Fisher King. Number 1, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, which is my favorite movie of all time. And The Fisher King's my second favorite movie of all time. No, third favorite movie of all time. Forgot about Jaws. Spoiler alert, that's the greatest movie of the 70s.
That's the decade we have to do next. That one definitely before the 21st century.
Are you kidding me? No way am I going to do the 70s. We wasn't born until 71. Everything from the 70s is going to be in retrospect.
It's going to be 75 through it.
Yeah, 75
79
through 80, we're good with. All right, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe to Rosenville 10 for more videos like this. I'm Joe.
I'm James.
This has been Twin Perspective, Top 50 Movies of the 90s, Part Yeah. And we will see you in the trees. Bye.